do want to thank a couple things, or a couple areas. That first of all, the people and parents. There are parents here that I've had their kids. Mr. and Mrs. Fall were one of them, and there's plenty more out there. Borkmeyer is another one, and so the Spears, Carolyn and Bob Spears is another one. And I want to thank them for letting me coach their kids. The other one I want to thank is my mom and my dad, Frank and Maria Jennewein. They gave me my values, and I got to pass my values on to my players. Chris Lawson sitting back there, and Chris, you can tell a Frank Jennewein story, can't you? Yes, he can. Chris played for me. And the other thing I want to thank is my players. When Richard Boehner said we had our style of play was we played extremely hard. And people think that those kids come out and play hard just on game nights, Tuesdays and Fridays. Well, playing hard's a habit. Those kids had to play hard every day in practice. And I want to thank them so much because they just, back in the, I got kids that are here, I know tonight are from the 70s. I know there's kids that I call them kids, they're my kids. There's kids here that played for me in the 80s, and there's kids that here that played for me in the 90s. In the 70s, we said, you got to play your butt off. And in the 80s, we said you had to play with a lot of intensity. And then in the 90s, we had to say you had to play with a lot of energy. And we had to accommodate the new stuff, but it was all the same. You still had to play hard. And those guys, I wish they'd stand. The guys that are here that played for me, I wish you just stand. They played so hard. Thank you so much. And then just two more. Then I want to thank my wife, Patrice, who has supported me, going to be 50 years this August. She supported me. And she's my rock. She is my rock. And then last but not least, I want to thank God for letting me come here. I was born and raised in St. Louis, and for some strange reason I got to Sedalia. But I want to thank God for sending me here to be a part of Sacred Heart and all the people that I got to meet and rub shoulders with, parents, players, and so on. Thank you so much.